So you want to know how to get something more with Kat in Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 1? Well, you're not alone because by popular demand, pretty much most people do. So I'm not only going to show you how to successfully get something more with Kat, but I'm also going to show you all of the positive heart opportunities that you can get with her. You don't need all of these to get that something more status, but if you want to get the highest, let's say, love score with Kat, here's what you do.
I knew you'd get it.
Now, you actually have to do something in scene 4 before you even meet Kat that will affect your points later on. So that's why I'm going to bring it up right now really quick. When you're in exploring Velvet Cove and shooting some animal footage, make sure to, shoot this.
Oh my gosh.
For a conversation option later.
Now I feel like a peeping Tom.
All right, let's go to scene 5 now. The actual hearts start here for Kat.
What are you, some kind of creep?
What?
And you definitely want to be more aggressive with Corey and Dylan here. That gives you a relationship advantage with Kat. And that makes sense. She's all about fighting back to them. And so, if she sees that you're very similar in that way, it makes sense that that would increase your relationship score. So to get Swan to be a little bit more aggressive, choose either the screw you and you film her.
Screw you.
Or and rolling and film.
Rolling.
So do either one of those or both, and you will get that aggressive status, and it seems to increase Kat's points.
Leave her alone, loser.
Next, make sure to laugh when Kat says this.
I thought your business was sucking dick.
Yeah. And that's it for scene 5 for Kat. Not much here, but let's go into the next scene, scene 6, the first night. This is where a lot of the choices happen, where you're gonna have to pick one girl. Like this first one, make sure to choose, thanks for helping me, Kat.
Thanks for stepping in, Kat. Those two had me cornered.
No problem.
Then I didn't isolate this choice in testing, so it's possible this point goes to Nora or all the girls, but just in case, when Kat asks,
So, what's up with the camera?
choose I'm making a memoir. And of course, choose Kat again when she offers things to shoot. I love filming outdoors, Kat.
Nature is my favorite subject.
Next, Autumn and Nora mention that they have a punk band. Choose What's a Riot Girl? And this only pops up if you wait in the conversation a little bit.
Who's your favorite Riot Girl band?
Kat mentions Riot Girl, and then you can choose that option. So I would hold out for that one for the Kat love points. Same situation here as Nora says, hey, stay here and film me. You get positive points from someone if you choose, I think we should help them. Most likely those points are going to be given to Autumn for sure. But since they mentioned them, I want to help them, and Kat's invested in finding stuff too, it's possible you get a point for Kat too.
We can use my camera's flashlight.
Okay, so you're looking around for the keys. Now don't find the keys. Find Kat and just stick in her area, right? Hang out in that area. And at some point she's going to ask you to shine a light up a tree.
Shine your light up this tree.
Now go ahead and do that. But the frustrating part is that if you already had your light on the tree, sometimes it doesn't trigger what it needs to. So just sort of don't shine the light in the tree. When she asks, shine the light in the tree, that's when I've gotten my best results.
See anything?
Ugh, fuck no. How can I make Corey's life miserable when I get home?
Make sure to choose key his bike for that extra point.
Ooh, you could key his bike.
I like how you think.
Now here's the point where it's safe to find the keys, okay? So find the keys. Eventually you're going to be triggered back into 2022 and talk to Autumn for a minute.
I had this intuition that the four of us were gonna be tight.
It's unclear if this is only a heart for Autumn because she's the one asking the question, but might as well pick I felt the same here. You're talking about the group, right? You're talking about all three of them. So in my mind, a point for all three of them probably is what happens. So once you're back into 95, you're looking for something to throw at the keys. Nora's gonna randomly ask Kat how homeschool is.
So, what's homeschool like, Kat?
If you pick what's your favorite subject, Kat, you will get a heart for Kat.
What's your favorite subject, Kat?
Go over to this drain pipe right in this area here, and you're gonna see Kat hanging around there, but actually look at the drain pipe and that will trigger a conversation with Kat. And in this conversation, if you choose right, you can get another 3 hearts with Kat here. So it's definitely very important.
Why was Dylan so pissed at you before?
For the first heart, pick she's full of herself.
She's so full of herself.
And then pick sorry you're related.
Sorry, you're related.
And then while Swan is a little bit too eager, maybe, still choose wanna crash at my place, because even though Kat mentions it, she kind of likes it.
We just met and you want to have a slumber party? You're funny, Swan.
Also, as we learn more about Kat later, we know that she wants to kind of get out of her house, so it probably feels good to know that she has another place to land sometimes. Now, there are 3 kind of endings for how this key situation will go, and one of them seems to favor Kat. However, when I tested this, it didn't seem like that created an advantage for Kat in the relationship statuses, so I don't think there's any points associated with it. But I still think if you're following along the whole Kat path, this is a good one for Kat in my mind, at least in tape 1. Hey, we haven't done tape 2 yet. So if you want, I would just not shine the light when Autumn asks you to shine the light. And after 3 times of missing, Kat will take over.
Watch this.
Cat!
And scene 8 is the next time you can get some positive hearts for Kat, and that is when Swan is doing her interview and talking about each of her friends, which I love doing as well, like interviews with everyone when I was this age in the 90s.
Hello, world. I'm Swan.
There's 2 things that give you positive hearts for Kat. Either Kat seems really smart, which is great. I would love it if somebody said that to me. Or Kat's really passionate. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like Kat's really passionate. If there was going to be something that's worth more hearts than the other, that's probably what it is. I just always go with passionate just in case here. And at the end of this interview, you can choose moving sucks, which gives you no hearts, or I hope we stay friends forever. It's not clear who gets the point, but I think it's obvious that they probably all 3 do.
I hope we stay friends.
So for the Kat path, pick it.
I like them a lot.
So now scene 9, garage band. Now this is where things get a little bit more tricky, like in the playground area, where depending on what you do when, this could happen or triggers this conversation, or you might skip over one. So right away when the conversation starts, just don't use your camera at all. Just kind of wait for the conversation to happen naturally, just kind of lingering there.
I still can't fucking believe Corey. Such a
I know.
dickwad.
If Kat is the one to get the keys, you have a locked option that comes up that gives you another Kat point. This is another reason why I think you should pick that one. But you can say, Kat saved the day.
Cat saved the day. I still can't believe you climbed
You
that
like
thing.
that?
If you didn't do that, no worries. You can choose Corey sucks. You'll also get a positive heart there too.
Corey sucks.
This might be a point for only Nora since she's the one that brought up Corey, but it might be for Kat, so just in case. Now you have to linger for quite a while and kind of continuing over other conversations that happen, but at some point, Kat's gonna bring up,
I wish we could go to a show, but no one comes here.
you can say, how about a road trip? And Kat really likes that.
How about a road trip? We could stop in one of the national parks on the way.
You can also look at her sour candy. Now you don't know it's hers at the time, but she tells you that that's hers. And if you pick cool, then you get a Kat heart.
Cool.
Now make sure to do this when there is no other conversation already happening. Otherwise, that conversation will take priority and you won't get this new conversation, okay? So now you can pick up your camera and specifically shoot the pizza boxes. So wait till no one's talking. Take out your camera, shoot those pizza boxes. They'll go into a whole conversation about what kind is better, cold or hot pizza, all of that kind of thing. And if you pick pizza's good at all temperatures, I believe you will get a Kat point only here.
Pizza's good at all temperatures.
I'm glad you're on my team, Swan.
You might also get an Autumn point because she does mention she just doesn't like old pizza.
I like cold too, but not
I
old.
want to be on the team.
And it's unclear if it makes a difference if you ask Kat to get by or if you move the game console to get by, but I feel like Kat would want you to speak up. So I like to pick the can I get by and excuse me option to move around here just in case it affects the Kat path. But again, I haven't seen that to be the case, but just in case. But this definitely does. You can approach Kat and talk to her.
Ever caught some freaky shit on tape?
So now remember that camera thing you did in scene 4 where you shot some squirrels getting busy? Well, if you did shoot it, then you will have a locked conversation that opens up where you can say, I filmed 2 squirrels mating, and you get a positive heart here.
I filmed some squirrels doing it. They were really going at it too.
Dude, what? I knew you were kinky.
Don't worry if you didn't shoot that. You can also choose, I filmed a used condom at a campsite for a positive point here.
I filmed a used condom once.
Too bad you didn't catch them in the act.
But I feel like Kat would like the squirrel one even more, so I always shoot that squirrel shot just in case. But then she starts telling her story about that massive buck exposing himself, and you have many options of what you could choose here. For Kat points, you can either pick he's a flasher or cool, you saw Wendigo, that opens up a locked thing in the future, which gives you a point. So I would pick that one for more opportunities.
Watch out. I might be a cannibal now.
So typically after you shoot all the things in Nora's garage and then you're looking for the pick and all of that, at some point Kat's gonna mention that she writes for a zine in Seattle. So if you choose, can we read it, you'll get a positive point there. And then once you sit down, she's gonna ask you what your favorite music is. And you can lie or you can tell the truth. And there's 2 truth options, but only music and more into movies gives you a positive heart. So go ahead and do that one.
At least she didn't lie.
Okay, so scene 10, the first opportunity for cat points actually comes when you're in the second area. If you go over to the fence and actually look at the love lock, now you don't have to do anything with the love lock here. You just have to look at it. That actually prompts Kat to come over and do this.
Think this'll shock me?
Make sure to pick good one for that positive cat point.
That was a good one.
Now come into this area. Swan will say she wants to shoot something a little bit more theatrical. So instead of doing that yet, just kind of hang out in this area a little bit. And then Nora will start talking about being eaten by bugs and all that. Now notice that Kat says that wasps are worse and talks about an incident with that, right? So if you pick, I know a fun fact about wasps, that will lead into another conversation, which gives you a point for Kat.
Did you know that wasps feed their young live insects?
Gross. So the bugs are being eaten alive by, like, babies?
So if you picked air guitar and Nora and Autumn go through the whole process, do whatever you want to do there, there's an option at the very end where you can comment about like how the shoot went. If you say, I wish we had real instruments, it does give you a positive and a negative. The positive is for Kat.
I kind of agree.
Okay, so now we're shooting the motorcycle scene. Even though it doesn't show hearts on these consequential choices, it does affect your relationship scores with them in testing. This one's a little bit confusing because you don't know what's positive and what's negative for each person. So it's a lot of guessing and checking and testing, isolating and all of that. But I think if you pick they're being romantic and they should kiss oddly, like the real kiss, Kat actually has more of an advantage. It seems odd to me. So maybe not. I don't know. It's just what I'm seeing.
I didn't use my tongue.
Okay, but further along, now you're gonna have to actually make a full choice of which path to take. Now, of course, this is going to affect your relationship, not only with the choice that you make, but also you have more opportunities for conversation as you're walking along this path.
Take your time, Kat. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
So if you pick Kat, you're gonna get a big bump. It looks like maybe a 3 hearts perhaps point increase. Again, it's hard to tell with the positives and negatives. And then you have a lot of different things that you can say that give you positive. So if you did the air guitar scene, a locked choice of that air guitar scene was fun, right? Just choosing that gives you a positive heart. Then anything else you choose after that doesn't. So it doesn't matter what you pick there, but you do get 1 heart by just choosing that one. You can also pick, was that scene with Nora weird? Now you don't get a positive point for that dialogue option right there, but your following dialogue, you can if you pick awkward. Why?
Why was it awkward?
But my favorite for Kat is actually if you pick today went by so fast.
Today went by so fast.
I know. Ugh, I hate when that happens.
Because when you do, as the conversation goes along, you can say,
I'd stay out late with you.
and then it just seems like cuter. I just like it better.
I like you, Swan. We think alike.
Oh,
Now, as you're hanging out on the overlook, this likely gives points to all the girls, but you can choose.
I've never had any friends like you.
But then the next choice seems to affect each girl individually. If you pick, I bet a moth's life feels even faster, Kat gets a point.
At least they get to fly.
So scene 11, you're watching the footage you recorded.
I gotta find the right channel.
I typically pick, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Then if you choose to play your footage before rewinding it, there's a little embarrassing thing that happens. But if you choose, it's a personal thing. I feel like it's definitely a point for each girl because what I'm finding is all the girls like comparisons stay exactly the same in my tests. I think they just contribute to everybody's scores. But then, of course, you're going to pick Kat for who the best actress is, especially if you did that motorcycle scene because she was very much acting there.
I didn't think so, but thanks.
And it seems like if you do pick that, you'll get a 3-point advantage approximately for Kat's love score. So then scene 12, when you're lost in the woods and Kat says,
Let's admit it. We're lost.
if you do that, you get a positive point for Kat. And it seems like a negative for Nora, but we're not worried about that for this path. So now quickly moving into scene 13, a lot of the rest of the choices I'm bringing up for this scene kind of only happen in certain times, or if you're waiting a really long time, or if it doesn't get cut off by another conversation. So again, if you don't see this in your playthrough, it's not a big deal. It's not going to make or break your something more ending. Right away, aren't you tired is going to come up. And if you say, don't worry, we'll go fast, Kat gets a positive point here.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, if you know how to get into the cabin, don't do that yet. Do a bunch of this other stuff first. Come back to that point later, because if you do that, it will kind of eliminate some of the possibilities of these other items to come up. But you have the opportunity to get 10 more cat hearts, approximately, depending on how much they're worth, if you find all of these. I like to get to a private area with Kat, just in case, so no other conversation can cut it off. Eventually, Kat will definitely say,
Never really had friends I could do stuff like this with.
make sure to pick. We have so much in common, of course.
I know what you mean. I'm kind of the same. It's crazy, like, how much we have in common.
Yeah. I'm glad we met.
Me too.
Now, I have better luck getting this one if you just don't select anything else and just wait or walk around aimlessly. But at some point, Kat will say this.
I wonder how long it's been since someone lived here.
And you could say, I bet this cabin's older than our parents. And then hopefully at some point, if you wait long enough, Kat will say,
If I ran away, it'd be cool to hide in a place like this.
and then choose, let's run away together.
Let's run away together.
I'd do it.
So once you get all of those three, those are kind of the sitting and waiting ones, right? Then go over to the bridge and look at the bridge.
Whoa.
Kat will wonder who smashed it or what. Say a bear.
A really angry bear?
Ooh, I want to see a bear.
Now, Kat really seems to want to see some bears, which comes up in a minute too. But first, go look at the chimes.
Check out these wind chimes.
Kat will bring up her family, and then you choose play hooky.
Play hooky. Pretend to be sick or something.
I should.
So now go over to the outhouse before you even know that you need something by the outhouse, and click on the need bathroom situation, and then choose perfect for 7 minutes in heaven for that cat heart.
Ooh, it's perfect for 7 minutes in heaven.
And then look at the hook. Now, you don't know what you need the hook for at this point, but look at it ahead of time because you'll get an extra point here. And then choose looks like a murder weapon because Kat definitely likes.
Fuck yeah. I love gory movies.
Now coming back, you can look at that area that you're gonna open up. After that happens, Kat will bring up the situation and make sure to pick let's break in for a positive.
Hell yeah.
And then go back over to that hook and do your thing.
Score.
Then you have a sort of, I guess, a major choice to pick whether you should stand back, I'll get it, or I can give you a boost. This one's really confusing to me because I tested this, I isolated this. Every choice exactly the same. This one different is the only thing, and checked at the next checkpoint to see what Kat's advantage was, and there was no difference. So really, you could pick either one of these, but I noticed if you pick stand back, I'll get it, then there's a little moment, and I like this little moment. Okay, but after you're done with that, then Kat will bring up that her parents might send Corey. Make sure to pick screw them for that extra heart.
Screw them.
Okay, so finally going inside to the cabin, go over to the bear trap. You can look at it, and then when you back away, it closes really loudly.
Oh, shit!
If you pick it's just a bear trap, there are only positives there. But you can also jokingly cry for help, and notice you'll get a positive and a negative point here. It's clear the positives are not going to be for Autumn and Nora. So this positive must be for Kat too. So take your pick.
Wow. Good one.
Okay, the phone call. Now, if you pick Kat for your phone call, it seems like you're going to get a 3-point advantage just right away by choosing her. But then you'll also have the opportunity to get about 7 points depending on the choices you make. So let's go through those now. For the greeting, it doesn't matter what you say back. Neither of them give you a point. But then make sure to pick that power outage was crazy.
It was crazy when the power went out.
Then I'm proud of my video. Kat likes it when you're like, you take ownership of what you do, right?
Don't be so shy, Swan. Your shit is dope.
Then I can't wait to see you. Then make sure to pick Autumn for your secret, because if you pick Nora, you won't have the opportunity to get a point there, interestingly enough. So pick Autumn.
A secret about who? Autumn?
Then choose got it. You're going to keep it a secret. And then I don't always want to talk.
Well, I don't always want to talk.
And then let's walk together and then aim for his junk.
Damn.
Soon you're going to go to 2022 and then you're going to come back and then you can close your trunk, the cat will come back on the trunk, and then you could pet the cat. Very important here. So when you do, if you've done everything I said so far for the cat path, you should see the locked option become unlocked for You Love Cats. Now, if you didn't see that option, maybe some of the more major choices, you pick some of the other girls and they have, higher points. So go back and look at those. But if you pick this one, You'd Love Cat, you'll get an extra cat heart here.
You'd like Cat. She loves animals.
Now, as you're gathering snacks, make sure to pick Cat's sour candy and the Willow Tree Coven book, which will come in handy later. So walking to the cabin with Cat, because you said that you would in that last scene, right? So depending on what you chose in scene 8 for your individual swan interview about Cat, you'll have different unlocked options here. And interestingly enough, you'll always get a heart from Cat here if you tell her exactly what you were thinking. If she was smart, passionate, or even if she was a show-off.
Thanks for being real with me, though.
Now, when you go into the cabin, assuming that you heard some juicy gossip about one of the girls, do not say what that gossip is because you're going to get negative points. So just stay silent or say it's like a witch's lair.
It's our own witch's lair.
And then I think this one is for Cat only, but it's possible it's for all 3 girls. But when Cat starts talking about her parents, say, don't worry, Corey won't find us, for a positive point, presumably for Cat.
Don't worry. Corey won't find us here.
So now it's time to pick people to help around the cabin. So of course you're going to help Cat. So go outside and say, need a hand, not boost. She does not like that in this case. So need a hand.
Hey, can I, be useful somehow?
Sure.
Then I like her serious poems.
I've always related to her.
I knew you'd get it.
Ow!
And then meowsers.
Meowsers!
She likes it when you're a little bit silly. And then after she gets a splinter, she needs some help. And so go inside and get the first aid kit, which is right here.
Think I found some tweezers.
And then come back out. And technically, I have not seen a point at all. No hearts show up or anything related to either of these choices.
Let me at it.
But I like the I'll take that splinter out for you option because you have this moment.
Right.
Oh.
Anyway, thanks.
When it's time to pick the colors, make sure to pick Cat's blue.
I liked Cat's blue.
I knew you'd agree, Swan.
And then as the echoes of summer start and this montage goes on, if you brought Cat snack, you'll notice that she smiles here. Now pick a flower. I don't know if the colors matter, but pick a flower and give it to Cat. And then of course, draw Cat for those extra points.
Shit. That's me?
And then there'll be some more choices which are positive points, not clear who they're with, so I just do them no matter what. When it's time to name the cabin, this is another major choice. It doesn't show hearts, but I feel like Cat would appreciate Fawn's Curse better.
Fawn's curse.
And then when Nora's admiring the cabin, you can say, great work, team, to address everyone.
Great work, team.
And then if you actually have your camera on Cat, she will mention that the curse or the rest, whichever one you picked, is actually perfect. And if you choose it's not for hunters anymore, you get an extra heart here. And it seems like that would be for Cat.
The deer are safe with us here. Yeah.
Okay, back in 1995, as you're walking to the little area Cat wants to show you, and you're talking about what would happen with the soil, why is it like that? If in scene 9 you mentioned the Wendigo to Cat like I told you to do, you will now have an unlocked option to say, hey, maybe it's your Wendigo here, and you'll get a heart for Cat.
That would be fucking awesome.
The other options don't give you that heart opportunity. And then the curse conversation.
Have you ever wanted to, lay a curse on someone?
In this first question Cat asked, I would pick I'd curse someone.
If I could curse someone, I guess there's this one guy.
Just because it shows that you're connected with Cat and thinking along the same lines. But I definitely saw an advantage for Cat if you say that you would do the blood oath.
Yeah.
Let's seal this thing.
There's definitely a points advantage here, but then there's also other things that open up and unlock later. And then you go to 2022 and then back to 95 where you can actually sing a portion of the song in the most hilarious singing video scene I've ever seen in my life. Go ahead and say "See You in Hell" for a definite cat point.
See you in hell.
And that's it for Cat in scene 18. Okay, scene 19 is filled with checkpoints to see how your relationship status is, but we will talk all about that in the checkpoint video. If that's already out, I will put the link in the description, but if not, make sure to subscribe so you get notified when it is. There's no additional points for anyone in Swan's room, but when you come back and you're in the camping environment, you're gonna get a lot for Cat. First, when Kat's talking about how her and Dylan conspired to lie and get Kat there, make sure to say you made a deal with the devil for a cat point there.
You made a deal with the devil.
And then when Kat says, guess what?
Guess what?
I mean, any 90s child knows that you're supposed to say chicken butt.
Chicken butt.
You're such a dork, Swan.
So you get a heart for Kat here for saying that. And then there's a positive heart for we'll find a way to go together.
Oh, we gotta find a way to go together.
This presumably to me would be for all of the girls, but definitely it would be for Kat since they're talking about, you know, going if she wins this contest. Scene 20, this is a key scene for getting something more because there's a lot of choices here that kind of make you choose one or that show an attraction, an interest in one of the girls. So this is really, really crucial.
Swan's gonna make us a fire.
But before all that, there is something major you need to do for Kat. So don't light the fire until you do this. Go to the attic and do the moment of calm here. Now this one's so easily missed in my opinion because you've probably already gone to the attic area and done a moment of calm earlier. And so why would you need to do it again? So when you see the option there, you sort of just bypass it and don't do anything about it. Don't do that here. Go do it again if you already did or your first time. Look at that moment of calm. As soon as you exit the moment of calm, it's going to trigger Kat coming in and sitting with you. Right away, first ask Kat any updates on the poetry contest. That's the only one that gives you a positive heart. There's a neutral one and a broken heart. Make sure to pick the poetry contest.
So, when do you find out about that poetry contest?
And then this one is key to see how you're doing with Kat.
Do you have anything that, like, you wish you could change about yourself?
If you have enough relationship points, the I wish I could stay here with you option will be unlocked. Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. If you don't see it, don't worry. I have gotten something more with Kat without this option being available, but it has to be really close. Like you have to have a pretty high relationship score with Kat. You know, it's just not high enough to be able to get it later. So in my opinion, if you don't see this unlocked, I would go back and make sure to pick those key Kat points I mentioned here. So go ahead and pick I wish you were here for this cute moment.
If I could change anything, I wouldn't move. And here, with you. I'd stay here with you.
And if you didn't see it pop, you'll still get a positive heart if you pick I wish I wasn't moving away. But now it's time to light that fire and start your truth or dare game. First question is for Nora, but depending on how you answer, you can get a point for Kat. Who should Nora be handcuffed to? Pick Kat for a cat heart.
She's picking Kat. No question.
And now it's Swan's turn. It will go back to 2022. We're all talking about what question was asked for Swan's truth. And this is a little bit of a tricky one because there's a lot of positive points you can get for any of the girls here, but there is one that specifically talks about who you're crushing on, and that definitely boosts up your relationship score and your attraction level with whichever girl that you pick. So even though you can get positive hearts with others, I would stick with this one. I think it's really important to get that something more boost.
Good one.
And then say, I have a crush on this writer.
I'm not naming names, but I have a crush on this writer.
And after Swan describes the person and they want to know who it is, make sure to pick I'll tell you someday. Now this is just a single positive heart. My assumption is that it's a heart for the person that you picked. It could be a heart for all of them. So either way, pick this one. And then you get to pick who Swan asks truth or dare to. And if you think about it, the person you're closest to or the person you have a crush on or something like that is who you're going to be thinking about and drawn to.
Cat.
So you definitely want to ask Kat, and Kat will always do a dare. Stick with asking her to break a mirror for bad luck, and I've definitely seen an advantage for Kat if you pick her for this dare and choose the broken mirror in the something more score later. So I would definitely pick this one.
Never had luck on my side anyway.
Is that gonna come, in tape 2 and do something bad? I don't know. Okay, now it's Swan's turn again to pick either a truth or dare. Now, technically for Kat, you can get points for her either way that contribute to the something more score. Starting with the not preferred one, you can pick truth, which eventually leads to the who do you think is the best kisser question. Of course, pick Kat here.
Cat's probably the best kisser.
That's definitely going to boost the I have a crush on you status with her. But we know Kat prefers dare.
Come on, pick dare.
And while this is a major choice, it only shows the bloom starting to grow. There is definite Kat points associated with this choice alone.
Bloody Mary.
And what I've seen in my testing is it doesn't seem to make an impact if you finish Bloody Mary or not.
Bloody Mary.
It's just the choosing dare that does. You get the points with Kat regardless if you choose dare and then leave as soon as you can, or if you go all the way through.
Get possessed? Maybe.
Okay, so you're following the glowing moths, but as you finally kind of approach the abyss, you can either choose to whisper or shout to Kat. Do not shout. That will give you a broken heart. So instead, whisper Kat, and that will give you a positive heart.
Cat.
And then when you're looking at it and she's like,
What do you think's down there?
pick Pandemonium. Testing verified that this is a key choice for Kat's score.
Sign me up.
And there's some checkpoints to see how you're doing with Kat, but that's for the checkpoint video.
You hear something?
If you did the blood oath, which you should on this path, you'll see is something down there as a locked option that pops up. Definitely pick that for a Kat point. I isolated this choice alone and it definitely has an effect for your something more status.
Is something...
Just like these next two, when Autumn and Nora are worried about what's going on here, make sure to pick.
Our blood ritual. Maybe it worked.
Now, if you happen to not do the blood oath, again, it's still possible to get something more with Kat if you didn't choose to do the blood oath. If you did, I can't. I'll talk about that more in the video that shows how to get something more with all of them in a single play. It's really complicated, but it is technically possible. Anyway, my point is, don't pick the coincidence one. That does not give you a Kat point. The other ones do. And then definitely pick a sacrifice in terms of what you give to the abyss.
A sacrifice?
This choice favors Kat over the others.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, when you're going back and forth between like the next day and this day, you know, with Corey and that whole scene, remember there's a results screen section at the end of tape 1 that says if you were violent or not violent with Corey. This is actually related to the abyss. And it's also related to a dialogue option that comes up in scene 24. So make sure to choose strength here.
I wish to be strong.
This alone doesn't give you a Kat point, it seems, but the dialogue option later does. And that's it for Kat in scene 21. It was a good one. Scene 23 is finally her interview.
Nailed it.
Now here is key to check on your relationship status with Kat. If you still don't have these locked ones unlocked, then you're screwed. Definitely go back. So I'm only going to focus on the locked ones for this one because really, if you don't have them at this point, there's no way you're going to get that something more status. Okay, so right away, you're going to get a great moment. Kat's going to be like, oh, we should have shot this at the abyss, blah, blah, blah. And you can choose, just look at me.
Just look at me.
Oh, so romantic. Should I, gaze into your eyes?
And then, Kat jokes around, but, she's into it. Then the you sneak out of your house a lot is going to be an option that pops up. Now, there's also another positive. Let's talk about music. You could do that, but you'll get an opportunity for another plus heart if you choose you sneak out of your house a lot. So choose that one, in my opinion. And then right away, there's a follow-up where you can say you hate the ranch too, right? That gives you another heart for Kat. You should have the we should totally make a zine option, which Kat loves. She gets very excited about. So pick that.
Oh my god! We should totally make a Bloomin' Rage Zine!
Oh, that would be so sick.
And then again, assuming that you went to the roof and did that moment of calm with Kat, you should have the I remember you mentioned Gertie option here. Definitely choose that.
Did I tell you about her?
I remember you mentioned Gertie once.
Now, if for whatever reason you skipped over that roof, it's, again, still possible that you'll get something more, but this option won't show up. Instead, it will be, who's Gertie? So pick that one. What you don't want to do is like divert the conversation back to music. You'll get a negative there, and she'll also cut the rest of the conversation off. So then she starts telling you the story about Gertie, right? So answer whoa.
Whoa.
That's kind of harsh, gives you a broken heart. So pick whoa. And then definitely pick, did you take her home?
Did you take the fawn home?
This is like almost like a test for Kat to see if you know her well enough. Like, she doesn't ask people for help, you know? She does things on her own. She makes it happen. And if you say, did someone help you save her? She's going to be like, you don't know me at all. And then as you leave the interview, Kat's going to talk about her plans for, you know, the concert.
I'm gonna sneak Dad's truck out so we can haul Nora's gear.
Definitely choose good idea. Again, that shows that you're aligned with her way of thinking. You guys are connected. You have a similarity in thinking. Okay, scene 24. There are a lot of catch-up Kat points in this one. Now, who does your makeup does not necessarily indicate all the people that you have something more with. It's just based on who the highest point is. You can still have something more with every single person. So if you don't get Kat here, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. However, if you're following along with this guide and you don't have Kat here, that would be very confusing because we basically picked Kat for everything and didn't pick anyone else for most everything. So definitely, if you don't get Kat here, I would just start over completely. And this is such a special moment because, like, oh, you think they're gonna kiss or you think something's gonna come, but then it just doesn't. So for Kat, when it's like, how do I look? You have to wait. You have to wait. And all the things pop up. And it's like what you're feeling in that moment and wait. And then choose, I like you.
I feel
Hey.
Okay. So you're trying to open up the fence in the back. I haven't seen any differences if you try to call Dylan. Even if Dylan gives you the code or doesn't give you the code, I haven't seen any points go on for Kat here. Still, I think you should break the lock because as we know, Kat prefers to break the lock.
Let's break it.
Go ahead and do that. I haven't seen indication that that favors Kat in any way at the end status, but just in case, just seems more aligned with her, you know?
Bam!
Nailed it.
Okay, but then there's more Kat opportunities. And I have seen these last choices completely flip the status at the end. So make sure to choose them. You might not need to if you really got all the points ahead of time, but if you didn't, or if you might have missed one, just do these just in case. So after you plug in the extension cord and you're just kind of waiting to see if it worked, Kat's gonna sigh. If you picked what's wrong, no points, nothing's gonna happen, either positively or negatively. But if you pick we can do this, Kat's gonna be like, whoa, like, how'd you know? That's what I needed to hear in this moment. And there's this connection vibe.
Are you a mind reader or something?
Huh?
Nothing. Just thanks.
Then when you find out it doesn't work, this is where you just have to sit back and linger for a long time. Don't open up the breaker panel in any way. Just wait. Just sit and wait, stare at Kat. And there's gonna be two things that come up that you gotta wait through. So first, Kat's gonna talk about how she hopes her dad doesn't notice the truck missing. And these don't give you a point either way. You can choose that was badass or that was crazy. Doesn't seem to make a difference there. But then wait even longer. Don't pick up, don't touch anything, just wait again because
This wouldn't be a bad place to hide out if he shows up, actually. If I had food, I could stay in here for like days.
and you can pick
I'll move in with you. It would just be, cozy.
Very cozy.
it's so good. You'll definitely get a Kat point there. Then definitely tell Corey to buzz off for verified Kat points. This is the one that's only available if Swan wished for strength at the abyss.
Buzz off, asshole.
You kids should go back to the playground.
But then as you go into scene 25, there's only one choice to make in this whole scene.
Who's playing gang leader here, huh?
It's very important that you pick I broke in, so Swan takes the blame here. Now, if you have a high score with Kat, it seems like if you picked This Is Kat's Dream, she also responds positively here. We'll talk about that more in the checkpoint video, but it does negatively affect your score. Even if you had a high score before, if it wasn't quite high enough, it will flip you away from something more in a lot of cases. So definitely take the blame with I broke in.
I broke in. Kat did nothing wrong. Please don't.
Stop it, Swan!
Don't blame her.
And that's it for Kat. There's nothing else to choose. And at this point, you should definitely have that something more status with Kat. It's a flawless system. If you followed the guide, you will get it. Make sure to watch the checkpoint video so you can see your status along the way with the girls, as well as the how to get something more with all 3, because that is possible. You just have to be very careful about what you pick and really pay attention to your choices. Okay, I'll see you in those videos if they're out already, and if not, make sure to subscribe so you're notified when they are, and I'll see you there then. Okay, bye.